Hello and welcome to a new video. So today we're going to be going through my 2019 reading journal. So this is a Leuchtturm 1917 journal. It's in the color silver. I will link it below, and all of the stickers are from Redbubble, apart from a few, like there's this cloak one, a couple of others, yeah, just a couple of them are not from Redbubble, but most of them are, and yeah, so there you go. Let's dive right into it. So when you first open the cover, you are greeted with more stickers, and then my background, my channel banner background, and then my name right here, and some sparkly stickers. So this journal goes from August to January because I wasn't smart enough to make this at the beginning of 2019, so we started in August when I hit 1 year on BookTube, and that is what this is. This is my little 1 year letter to myself, just talking about how being on BookTube for 1 year has changed my life, and how I hope to continue to be on BookTube and all that jazz. Then it has my little stamp here, and then we have my 2019 reading goals. I wanted to read 52 books, meaning one book a week, and I actually managed to read physically 59. I'm still working on, as of filming this, working on 60 and 61, and once those happen I will fill them in here. So I color-coded them by rainbow, and then I made my 52 gold because that was my goal, and yeah, she's beautiful. And then I participated in the reading rush, and I got every single badge apart from reading 7 books and something else. Can't remember what it is. And the only book I read during that was Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban, and I listened to it on audio, and it was great. I love that I started this journal out with Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. It's my favorite Harry Potter book, and it's just, I love it. Then we move on to the Newts. I loved participating in the Newts this year. I wanted to be a librarian, and so I printed out all of the pages that G had made, and I taped them into my notebook. And then on the next page, nope, that's not the next page, I had my Newts TBR so I could track what I was reading, and this was my TBR. These were my actual, these were the actual books I read, and I completed my Newts challenges. So then for every book that I read on this page, I made its own little spread reviewing the book. How this is set up is very different from what I have later in my journal. I had the synopsis, and then a review, and then quotes, and then the dates read. That is very different from what I have over here now, so this is very different. The pictures get smaller, and it gets more aesthetically pleasing as it goes along. But here we have my favorite book of 2019, The Raven Boys, and it's just, this is a very good spread, very nostalgic spread. And then we read Hunting Prince Dracula, and then we read Six of Crows and The Wicked King, and then we read Radio Silence, and then we read Sorcery of Thorns. This one is not my photo. I don't remember where I got it from. I know it was from Instagram, but I can't remember who took the photo. So if I can find it, I will link them below, but if not, this photo is not mine. And then we read The Crooked Kingdom, and I tried to mix it up a bit, so I put, like, the review in here, and then, you know, fold it over, Crooked Kingdom. I don't know how I feel about it, but, you know, there you go. And then we move on to my owls, because I didn't know about the Newts and the Owls until Newts was already upon us, and I had to scramble to do the Newts, and then I decided to do the Owls, just so I could, like, you know, accurately become a librarian. So this year was the Chamber of Secrets. Not that you can, like, read this from this angle. Then you have, like, your owl's letter. I bought my very own Hogwarts stamp. Like, it's a spread. So yeah, I still wanted to be a librarian. I printed it out again. I printed out the topics that I needed. I had my TBR down here, which I did not follow, so there you go. And then we had in anticipated releases of 2019 for the remainder of 2019. So here was just my little list. And then we read The Raven Boys again in 24 hours. And this became like my go-to spread. It has a brief synopsis, a review, and then the date I read it and the rating, and it has the book cover somewhere on the page. And in 2020 I want to make these more aesthetically pleasing, but for 2019 I didn't really care, you know? I tried to make this one more aesthetically pleasing. This was one of my, like, Instagram photos, but then I realized that, like, having a huge glossy photo was not worth it. And then on this page, I used 2 of my Polaroids to take pictures of the books, and I realized that was also a waste. So we scrapped both of these ideas. I do like how if a book isn't long enough for me to use a whole page, I like to use 2 on one page just to maximize my, like, space. But also sometimes it doesn't really work. So I will need to come up with a better way to review shorter, not important books, you know? For finale, I tried to write down my feelings and thoughts as I was going along, and then I just couldn't care, so I jumped into a review and a summary. And then I should have put Tea Dragons on on like a half page, but it didn't happen, so we're just left with this awkward blank space down here. And then, as you can see, this is my Owls results. I passed, and there is my diploma. I put a wax stamp seal here. I really wish I hadn't, but if I pull it up, it'll ruin the whole page, and I'm not redoing it. So we just get to live with it. And then moving into October, I made this lovely cover page. I can't remember who drew this, but, like, it's one of the most popular Hogwarts things. If you just Google Hogwarts drawing, you'll find this. And then this was my October TBR, and I went for a bluish purplish theme, and then I checked off every single book that I read, and I got to most of my October TBR. And then for October, I wanted to track how many pages I read a day. As you can see, around the halfway mark, I just stopped, like, physically tracking how many pages I read. And then I also tracked how many words I was writing. As you can see, not a lot. I was also working on 3 different projects. And now I'm all over the place with my projects, so, like, this didn't really help me in the end. I really like how these look together, though, and I want to bring them back eventually. I just have to, you know, find the time to, like, have enough time to read and write within a month. And then moving on, I read Aquacorn, and then I read most of the Girl from the Other Side graphic novels, manga, whatever they're called. Then I read The House of Salts and Sorrows, and then The Wicked Deep. Both of them were really Halloween-y vibes. And then we get to the Hocus Pocus read-a-thon, where I was on Team Undead. We won, by the way, which was very cool. I believe there is a video of me making this spread, and I had a lot of fun doing it. Like, I had so much fun doing this, and then filling in all the little pumpkins as I went along. It was really, really fun. I really like how this specific spread turned out, just because, like, it looks so cohesive and nice, and just, like, so this spread is just really cohesive. It looks really nice. Like, it just looks really aesthetically pleasing, even though it's, like, really plain. Then we get to one of my favorite books of the year, The Diviners by Libba Bray. This book took me so long to get through. I was tired of reading it by the end, but it was so good, and I love it. And now I'm in the middle of the next one, and it's taking me just as long to read it. And then we read The Devouring Grey and The Missing Season to get into the spooky, like, season of things. Then I read the Tea Dragon Festival and Serpent and Dove. And then we move on to the Spookathon hosted by Books and Lala, hosted by Kayla, and we didn't get to all of our prompts, but that's okay. This drawing was taken from somebody on Instagram. I believe I linked them in my Spookathon vlog, so, like, go check out that to figure out where this bad boy came from. And then yeah. And really the only book I read was Ninth House during the Spookathon. Even though the Tea Dragon Festival is over here and Serpent and Dove is over here, I had already planned out putting these here when I made this, so if you're curious why those are before this, that's why. And then we made it to the Widgeton, and I failed the Widgeton big time. I only read Blue Lily Lily Blue, and even that was a struggle. This drawing also came from somebody on Instagram that is in my Widgeton vlog. I will, like, they're linked in the Widgeton vlog, so, like, check them out. And then it took me an entire month to read The Dream Thieves, which I know I said wasn't a good book. It wasn't my favorite. I gave it a 3 out of 5. I love it, and I can't wait to go back and read it. And then I read Blue Lily Lily Blue, which took me far less time to get through, and it was good. We're gonna move on. And then here we are in November, here we are in November. I didn't really read anything in November. I was writing a lot. So there's a big chunk of time in between Blue Lily Lily Blue and the rest of these because I didn't read anything in November. I started reading Layer of Dreams on November 25th, and I have yet to finish it. And currently it's now Sunday, January 5th, so really good for me. I will finish Layer of Dreams very, very soon. I then decided, because I read a lot of fan fiction, which I'm thinking about making a video about, I decided to put some of my favorite longer, more well-developed fan fictions in my reading journal, because I am using my free time to read these works of art. So I decided to put them in. And All My Stars by Cowboy Kylux on Archive of Our Own / Babushka on Tumblr. It's a great, really dirty, really delicious fan fiction about a medieval Kylo Ren. Really good, really enjoyed it. It's so good. I love Xana. She is a beautiful human being, and I will definitely link her Tumblr and her AO3 down below because all of her works are beautiful and I love her. She's a beautiful human being. And then we make it to November, NaNoWriMo. I wanted to track how many words I was writing each day, and we were doing great until the middle of the month, where I wrote 3,000 words on day 15, and then shit hit the fan, and I just couldn't care anymore. And so yeah, this photo is from Instagram as well. I cannot remember who it's from. If I remember, I will link them below. If not, I'm sorry. And then we get to December. I had planned on reading The Cruel Prince again, beginning Wicked King and finishing with Queen of Nothing. I didn't care to read The Cruel Prince again, and last time I had read it in March, I gave it a 3.5 out of 4. It's a 3.5 out of 5, and I couldn't remember my review for it because I had made a review in my mind. I just hadn't written it down. I DNF'd The Wicked King at 70 pages on December 22nd because I just can't care. And then that means I can't get to Queen of Nothing. So eventually, maybe in the coming year, I will come back to this spread, but I doubt it. And then I read Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Philosopher's Stone, and then I read Chamber of Secrets to begin my Harry Potter vlog, which is already up if you want to go watch that. And then we have every single one of my Bookmas thumbnails. I thought it would be cute. I like seeing all my thumbnails. I like when my thumbnails have a cohesive, like, theme to them. So here they are. And then I read The Chaos of Standing Still, and then I have my favorite fan fictions of 2019. Most of them are just Adam Driver characters. If you check out any of them, check out Sinnerman. It's an AWU, but it's so good. It's so good. Oh my god, it is so good. It's so good. I highly recommend it. And then we get to the last book I read of 2019. You can see me make this spread in my Raven King vlog, which is also already up. And yeah, I had such a good New Year's Eve reading The Raven King. It's so good. I want to eventually make my spreads more aesthetically pleasing like this and have a nice review on one page. However, I don't know how I feel about this specific spread, just because it's not what I wanted, but it's also, like, I can't picture anything else for this spread, if that makes sense. So, like, we just have to leave it. And then we move on to my 2020 cover page, I guess. I have a lot of pages left in this notebook, and I don't want to waste these pages. So, since I have used this many pages, and I have a lot more to go, we are going to continue using this notebook into 2020, and when we run out of pages, we will begin a new one, and that'll be fun. But for now, we are here at the Laurel Leaf Library beginning page. Over here, I have one of those, like, pages you see in a book, and I made this one myself, so it pertains to me, and I'll show you a close-up in a second. And then we have this cover page that I made, and it's really cute, and I spent a lot of time on it. Yeah. And then we have my 2020 reading goals. I want to read 100 books. That's what I have as my Goodreads, like, goal. However, I'm not going to pressure myself to read 100. It'd be really cool if I did, but if I don't get there, it's fine. So I have up to 55, like, penned in, and then I have 110 put in pencil, and as we go along, we're going to be filling it in, either physical audio or ebook. I want to start reading more ebooks. Ebooks do not count as fanfictions. I don't count fanfictions in this, so don't worry about it. And then we have my favorite fanfictions of 2020, and so far, I only have 2. So I have the name, the author, and then who the, like, person is. And I only have 2 so far, but I have a feeling that I'm just going to fill out these 2 pages, and I might need more. We don't know yet. And then I have my 2020 anticipated releases. I have a whole list right here of books that are coming out throughout 2020. And then we have another aesthetically pleasing spread of booktubers and author tubers who inspire me to do my own channel, who I like to watch almost religiously on a daily basis. So we have G from Book Roast. I have their photo, their name, and then what they inspire me about. And yeah, we have Olivia Reads a Latte. We have Alexa Dunn, Ariel, Whitney, Emma Books. I just love all of these ladies so much, and they all kind of have this, like, vibe going together. Like, they just look really good in this spread. And then we get to my January TBR. If you haven't already guessed, I love Kylo Ren at the moment. Just really, really obsessed. December is where I fell down the rabbit hole and I can't get out, and it's just a hot mess. So here we have my January title page, and then we have the books I want to read this month. And yeah, we're hoping to get to these. If it doesn't happen, it's totally fine. And then we make it to the back of the notebook, where I have a bunch of stickers from random things. And then we make it to the very back of the notebook. So that was my journal. Thank you so much for watching. I love my reading journal. I love coming back to it. I never get tired of it. I'm excited to see what I fill out in the rest of it, and I'm just excited to continue to fill this out. So I will see you in my next video. Heart you. Bye!